Chosen one, this moment is sacred. You didn't just wander here. You were summoned. And what you're about to receive isn't ordinary insight. It's divine activation. God has spoken. Delay no longer. This is not a season for doubt. Not a moment to second-guess the signs you've already received. You feel the truth. You've known it in your spirit for a while now. Even if your mind has been trying to catch up. You've been given clarity, not confusion. You've been chosen to move when others hesitate. To hear what others dismiss. To see what's been veiled from the masses. Now more than ever, you can sense it. The internal urgency, the strain, the intensity. This is what your spirit is warning you of. It's not your imagination. You are not exaggerating. They're waking you up. Take a minute to breathe before we continue. You are going to experience a profound awakening. So watch this video through to the conclusion. In the comments, write the number 777 along with your best wishes. This little deed is more than simply symbolic. It's a spark. It's like striking a match on the wall of the cosmos, signaling that your moment is right, your intentions are pure, and your soul is ready. Allow your desires to be bold, faith-filled, and vibrant. This chapter about wants giving birth to reality is magnificent. Select one now, such as this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Now let's get started. The disguise of delay ends. Select one. While the delay you encountered was not arbitrary, it is no longer permitted. Delay was allowed to settle your clarity, to sharpen your understanding, and to purify you. Even while it seemed like you were being left out, you were being equipped. Even while it seemed that you were being sidelined, you were really being protected. It was a disguise, the delay. It wore a frustrated expression, but there was divine calculation at work. However, the delay assignment has been canceled. It accomplished its goal. God is saying, step now, after it had its time. Disobedience has consequences beyond stagnation. There is no time for maybe later. There is no place for, what if it doesn't work? It's suffocating spiritually. Breathing in the incorrect location is no longer an option. What you have outgrown cannot be your home. If you remain in expired places for too long, you will choke spiritually. This is a severe matter. There is more than merely a benefit to be gained via obeying. It's breath, it's nourishment, it's clarity, it's growth, it's liberation. However, it won't meet you where you've been. It is awaiting your action. And this is the truth. Relocating isn't necessarily the same as movement. It denotes mental compliance. It indicates a change in cardiac position. It entails taking action today that you have been putting off. The phone contact you haven't placed, the action you haven't done, the narrative you haven't shared, the project you haven't started, the forgiveness you haven't offered, the gate you haven't entered. It's not always a matter of life or death. It has a spiritual component. Ignoring this command is like to slowly dying on the inside. That's not your share, either. It wasn't your destiny to die unsatisfied. You weren't picked to become irrelevant. You were selected to construct, communicate, move, and activate. Right now, the skies are open above you. God is disturbing your established habit by yelling into your timeline. Your life is being thundered by the heavenly clock. In compassion, not censure. The urgency of God is not dangerous. This is an invitation. However, the invitation expires. Though not indefinitely, this door is open. Furthermore, you cannot move what you were meant to give birth to a different season. The nudging is so loud at the moment for a particular purpose. The world isn't pressuring you. This is divine accuracy. God is arranging events, people, and miracles for you, but only if you act quickly. You are being called into the rhythm of your mission, and the kingdom is in harmony. Being late will not do you any good. Not now. This goes beyond your life. It has to do with lives that are related to yours. Your yes doesn't matter. It is a generational issue. Your results are not the only thing impacted by your delay. It postpones the delivery of another person. Some people's boldness encapsulates their freedom. Some people's prayers are dependent on your compliance. Are you aware that this is larger than yourself? The adversary has assaulted you with such uncertainty, fatigue, and bewilderment because of this. Because he can stop the flow if he can freeze you. He won't, however. Not now. The reality is already dawning on you. You're already recollecting your identity. You already know that the price of disobedience is far higher than the pain of continuing. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Your reaction to the divine signal. God has already made the way clear for the chosen one. You are just expected to walk into the miracle, not to create it. Already, the resources are aligning. The time has been announced previously. The individuals have already been chosen. You're not in the rear. If you reply right away, you're exactly on time. But that accuracy becomes pressure if you wait. Delays in compliance will seem like disobedience during this season since heaven is not repeating itself. The cautions were the indications you got, the confirmation following confirmation. The action is this. This is the word you have been waiting for. This is the last indication you've been hoping for. This is it if you've been waiting for someone to step up and encourage you. This is your last signal. This message, this time. And love, not fear, is the source of it. Delays are spoken by fear. Love propels you on. Love from God is never passive. It's audacious. It steps in. It fixes it. It prevents you from sleeping through your fate. And you're being loved into action right now. But now it's different. The agony you experienced was love telling you, not here. The tension you've been struggling with was heavenly discontent telling you, not yet. It's becoming quiet. There's a loud signal. The directions are unambiguous. You're aware of what to do. You've been aware for some time. However, the knowledge has now grown. It is up to you to decide. And your soul understands how to stand, even if your emotions are still shaking. This is a spiritual test of faith in God and willpower. You've passed enough tests in the dark. Choose one. Let's go out into the light now. This moment will be recorded as the turning point that changed everything in your life's unseen history. You finally aligned, not because anything outside of you changed. Courage is rewarded in heaven. Alignment is rewarded by the cosmos. Additionally, that alignment becomes increasingly shaky the longer you remain in indecision. Realign yourself today on all levels, emotionally, spiritually, and cognitively. Respond, yes, to the command that is screaming inside of you. No more confirmation is required. More clarification is not necessary. You must move. Even if you're still afraid, you should still walk. Feeling uncertain is okay, but nonetheless follow instructions. If no one understands, that's good too. Still reply. The public was never given the opportunity to approve your assignment. You were the only one given it by God, and it was divinely planned and timed. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. You have too much fate on your shoulders to be secure. Being little is risky these days. Now, waiting is risky. You are too near the beginning of your breakthrough and too near the end of this exam. And you'll be astounded by what awaits you when you obey. But you have to move before it can happen. You can't sit on the sidelines with that on your lap. Now is the time to act out of faith rather than fear. To talk bravely rather than quietly. To act decisively rather than hesitantly. This is not everything that you are capable of. You were made for it. The moment God says, now, all the spiritual gates open for you, opening the door to divine acceleration. Right now, you're not alone. The whole might of heaven is behind you. Heaven, however, cannot compel you. It can only give you more strength. The secret to divine acceleration is your obedience. It now takes months to do what used to take years. You will now be able to achieve what would have exhausted you effortlessly. And because grace permeates every area once you enter divine harmony, you won't need to exert any more effort. You'll glide. You will no longer need to plead. They'll choose you. However, there are no justifications for unlocking this next realm. It begins with execution. The sky is prepared. Are you? There is yet a lot more to uncover. This is just the beginning. There is something precious about the hour you are in, chosen one. You cannot afford to take this time lightly. This is not a time for recommendations. It is a heavenly appeal from the highest reaches of spirit, a mandate wrapped in compassion that calls you to make the choice that will shape the rest of your life. The whole staircase is no longer required. All you have to do is go forward. Waiting for the ideal circumstances before acting is a mistake that many people make. However, migration creates ideal circumstances for the selected ones. The favor is activated by movement. Angels are summoned by action. You demonstrate your readiness by moving forward. God doesn't work miracles when people are hesitant. He transforms his energy into motion. When your foot falls on nothing but faith, you must have confidence that the same power that has carried you this far will also catch you. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Not because you didn't believe in the dream, but rather because you didn't trust in yourself completely. You've held yourself back for far too long. Heaven hasn't altered its mind about you, however. You have been faithful to your purpose, even at your most unsure moments. And now it's right there, in front of you, awaiting your answer. You have spent years repeating the same routines and tales. You've remained loyal to restriction for a longer period of time than most individuals remain dedicated to their mission, but that is now over. They're telling you to break the cycle. You are now being prevented by the patterns that formerly shielded you. The ideas that used to feel at ease are now choking you. A place that used to seem comfortable now feels like a jail. That pain is wonderful. It's evidence that your improved self can no longer exist in the previous time frame. God merely wants you to obey. He is not expecting you to be flawless. Furthermore, there is a distinction. Perfection is waiting. Obedience is a movement. Perfection does the analysis. Obedience gives up, the request to be observed. You have everything worked out, which is why you are being called. The reason you are being called is because of what is within of you. It's time to believe your inner voice more than the cacophony around you. Even if you don't, there will always be disagreements, but heaven has the last say. And that choice is calling your name right now. Spend no more time searching for indications. Your body is already exhibiting the symptoms. The pain in your soul, the pressure in your chest, the burning in your gut, and the uncontrollable tears. It's no accident. That is a disruption from God. God communicates with the selected in this way. This season, hiding is no longer an option. Stop hiding your strength to make others feel better. Don't minimize your gift any longer in order to escape criticism. You've spent enough time undercover. Time to make an impression. For alignment, not for attention. No more noise is needed in the world. Your voice is needed. Your narrative is needed. Your step is required. Your inner vision remains in spiritual suspension for each instant you put it off. Like a seed waiting for rain, it awaits your action. And there won't be any more rain. You have spent your whole life preparing for this holy task, and now is the allotted time. Although you may feel unqualified, the qualification is really your obedience. Seldom are the picked the best prepared. Simply put, these are the ones who answer yes when it counts. This is not unique to you. Heaven is waiting for you right now, ready to help the instant you take action as you weigh the weight of this word. But you have to do something. Your mission is not something you can imagine your way into. You have to move in. In the doing, the activation takes place. You can only learn some things once you go outside of your comfort zone. The air shifts when they do. The mood starts to converge. Your bravery causes the cosmos to reorganize itself. But unless you make a decision, none of it can occur. Despite its narrowness, the entryway is open. The key is in your possession. It has always been with you. The peril of passivity and the strength of your yes. Selected one. You've already suffered too much from previous delays. Relationships, health, time, energy, and possibilities. They weren't wasted, however. They are interwoven with the power of your identity. Right now, waiting is the only thing that can really rob you. You must understand that the opponent wants more than just to destroy you. He wants to know why you delayed, because he is aware that a postponed goal is still a pointless one. And he's won a battle without firing a shot if he can persuade you to wait a little while longer, think more deeply, and ask a few more questions. However, you are now too alert, too aware, and too on the brink of breakthrough to let this opportunity pass you by. You're not being too dramatic. This isn't anything you're overanalyzing. Your feelings are genuine. The change is genuine. The call is genuine. There is a significant risk of delay, and the answer lies in your obedience. The divine is vigilant, but does not plead, and not everyone should get this warning. It's for you. It seems very intimate because of this. It's keeping you up at night because of this. You feel as if you are in the midst of a spiritual earthquake because of this. Because everything that isn't supposed to remain is being shaken by God. He is dismantling the cozy. He's shutting all the doors you weren't meant to enter. Since there is only one way ahead, He is ensuring that you cannot turn back. Allow your yes to overpower your fear today. Don't let your pain overpower your trust. Allow your goal to outweigh your history. You are a different person from the one who hesitated the previous time. You've experienced too much to remain still at this point. You were purified by the hardship. You were schooled by the seclusion. You were triggered by the rejection. This moment is now for jumping, releasing, and launching. The one thing that will liberate you is the very thing you're terrified of. Don't allow fear to influence choices that shouldn't be made. When you act out of fear, it is loud yet helpless. Fear is silenced by action. Delays are eliminated by courage. The bonds are broken by movement. Delays are dangerous because they might lead you to believe that obeying now will be safer tomorrow. However, tomorrow is not certain. Destiny doesn't have to wait for you to feel comfortable. It is coming whether or not you are completely prepared. However, the force of divine grace takes over when you decide to meet it now. Grace will cover the void. Grace will bear the burden. What you can't do, grace will do. But a vessel is necessary for grace. And your willingness is that vessel. Choose one. Be willing. Be willing despite your trembling. Be willing even if you're not sure. God is not asking you to be courageous, so even if you're crying, say yes. He is requesting your loyalty. The new era of audacious compliance. It's more than simply a day. This appointment is wonderful. It is etched as a gate, a turning point, or a before and after moment in your spiritual blueprint. And you'll remember it. You'll look back on this in years and see that this was the beginning of the change. Because you followed wholeheartedly, not because you had all the answers. And paradise never needed anything more. Your yes, now, belief, and step. This marks the end of waiting, fear-based reasoning, and delays motivated by comfort. This is the time of complete surrender, radical alignment, and fearless obedience. This is what you were meant to do, selected one. Sacred time has been entrusted to you. Not everyone has the opportunity to stand at this crucial juncture, when one path leads to complete change and the other to gradual spiritual decline. However, you are here because you possess the strength to make the tough, yet divine decision. Don't romanticize waiting. Delay is no longer safe. So don't exalt the delusion of not now. A cage has replaced what was previously a cushion. Additionally, what was once preparation is now a cause of paralysis. The very tranquility you were defending will give way to restlessness if you remain still for too long. Your sense of restlessness is magnificent. You won't be tortured. It's to let you go. Where there is no longer peace, you are not supposed to remain. Cycles that weaken your strength are not something you should continue to consider. With each second that goes by, the inner awareness becomes louder. Furthermore, it is not arbitrary. It is a holy frequency that is bringing your spirit's blueprint to life. You will feel increased pressure the longer you wait, because comfort is not the only thing at stake. Now you are at a place where the urgency of heaven is linked to your obedience. Your choices now will generate magnetism or momentum. Everything you do or don't do either attracts or further repels what is really yours. Certain things can only find you once you completely transform into the corresponding version of yourself. That enterprise, that platform, that heavenly collaborator, that supply, that worldwide task. It doesn't wait for you in the future. It is awaiting your current, submissive self. The one who makes the decision right now to cease postponing fate since the justifications are no longer valid. The spirit's clock has turned. The calendar has changed. You have been summoned to enter a world that is no longer optional. It is necessary. Additionally, it becomes heavier the longer you continue to negotiate with what cannot be negotiated. God is not using pressure to punish you. The promise is what He's guiding you towards. There is no devastation in the squeezing. Delivery is what it is. Something is crowning within of you. There is too much within of you for delay to contain. It will burst if you continue to delay. However, it will release if you align.